Okay, folks, pay close attention. Okay, so when I was on suspension like 3 weeks ago, I was on a 1 week suspension. I did two videos that I loaded on my backup channels, but I did not load on my main channel. So you got to make sure that you watch this, okay? So one of them was about an athlete that died, which connected to Trump and his head wound. And then another one was about a dog contest that connected to Trump and his head wound. You got to watch these two videos if you've never seen them, okay? They're on my backup channels. And here are the names of my backup channels, okay? So just type these exact names to get either one of these channels, and you will see where those two videos are, because those two videos are on both of these channels. Okay, make sure you go and watch both of those videos, either before you watch this new info that I'm about to show you or after, whatever. But make sure you go and watch those two videos if you've never seen them. Anyway, let's get to the new info. Okay, so before I show you the more important information, which has nothing to do with Trump and his ex-wife, I have to get this out of the way first, okay? Because people were telling me to do more info about Ivana Trump, who died recently. So this was Trump's ex-wife, right? And this is my pen right here. You're saying, anyway, this is Trump's ex-wife who just recently died, right? Okay, so pay attention carefully. So Ivana Trump, his ex-wife, died on 7/14/22, okay? And Donald Trump is born on 6/14. And June 14th is 5 months and 14 days into the year. Okay, that's how it's counted. 5 months, 14 days into the year makes June 14th. So that means that Ivana Trump's death, July 14th, is actually 6 months and 14 days into the year. So she technically dies on a 6/14, like Trump in the year 22, right? And I'm telling you that Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th, right? 8/4. And interestingly enough, if you just took July and the number 22, 7/22, August 4th is 7/22 on the old Julian calendar. But anyway, forget about that. And speaking of the number 22, so from the day she died to the day I'm telling you Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th, it's 22 days. That's another connection, because we're in the year 22, right? And strangely enough, Ivana is born on 2/20, which would be the 22 with a crown. 2/2. You understand? February is the second month. 2/2 with a crown. So let's see the equation of from when she was born to when she died. So look at this. So from the day she was born to the day she died, it's 26,808. And you know the word God equals 26, and then you have the 88, because the 88 reference to Back to the Future, and I'm going to get to what the 88 is in a minute. Also, you have the crown. And look, she died at the age of 73. 73 is the EL number that I always tell you about. EL means God, because if you turn the 7 and 3 upside, opposite way, it looked like the letters EL. EL means God in Hebrew. Now look at this. So look at this, 888 months and 25 days. And why is this important? Okay, first of all, you have the 88 with a crown, and notice it says 25. So it's 8825. Watch this. Look at this. The name Trump equals 8825. You see that? And look, and backwards right here, it's 76, and that's how old Trump is right now, 76 years old. And even he's got the dates of what I always talk about. I told you he's going to get his head wound on 8/4 and then come back either on 8/8 or 8/7. Look at that. All those numbers are right there. Anyway, like I said, I just was showing you the coincidences from her birth to her death. Now let's look when Ivana Trump married Donald Trump. So they got married on 4/7/77. Look at that. It's the 4777. And look when they got divorced, 3/22. Because I always tell you that Trump is connected to the 3/22, even though Elvis is actually the higher up 3/22. He's the top of the. He is the skull and bones Elvis. But anyway, uh, Trump, they got divorced on 3/22 in 92. All right, so I'm going to show you the equations of what's important about that. So from the day they got married on April 7, 1977, to the day she died, it's 45 years. And I told you that connects to Trump because he's the 45th president, right? You see what I'm saying? It's 45. And you know why 1977 is so important, because that's the year Elvis died, and that's the year that the horse Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown on June 11th. And I told you June 11th is the day that I'm telling you Seattle's going to be struck. And a horse called Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown on June 11th. You understand? Anyway, but the 77 is super important because from Elvis's death date, this day in 1977 to this year, August 16th, it's exactly 45 years. And it's going to be 45 years all the way till August 16th, 2023. All right? So that's why these events are going to happen in between these dates, all right? It has to happen next year. If it doesn't happen this year, it's 100%. Anyway, so 1977 that's the reason it's important. That was the year that they got married, Trump and his wife, his ex-wife. So remember, I showed you from the day they got married to the day she died was 45 years, which connects to Trump being the 45th president. Now let's look at when they got divorced, from Trump's birthday to the day they got divorced. So from the day Trump was born to the day they got divorced, it's 45 years. Again with the 45. Okay, and why is that important? Because I told you the day that Trump was born, 6/14/1946, if you use the prime numbers for all those numbers I just said, I showed you that it equaled 322. The day he was born was a 322 skull and bones connection. And that's the day they got divorced. That's why it's important, because it was divorced on a 322 skull and bones number. Just like the Guidestones, the Georgia Guidestones which was built on when it opened 3/22/1980. All right, and it just got taken down. You think it's a coincidence? Because I told you it all connects to what's going to happen in Seattle. Georgia is like the George connection to Washington, where Seattle is. But anyway, it's 45 years. You see? And just in case you didn't understand what I meant by his birth date equaling 322, see, this is the birth date numbers of Trump. This is the numbers, and then these are the prime numbers attached to those numbers. It equals 322, you see? That's how he's connected to the 322. So now we're going to go to the more important information. So remember that that I told you to watch these two videos earlier in the video. This video, I told you to go and watch these videos when I was on suspension that I did. Okay, this one, just read the title. It's on my backup channels, and this is the other one. Okay, these two videos, just in case you haven't seen it, because see how it says athlete dies here. I'm going to show you another athlete's death connected to Trump's head wound that just happened. And when I say just happened, I mean just yesterday or the day before. This was from weeks ago. This athlete died. Okay, this is not the same athlete that I'm talking about. This is a new one that I'm going to talk about right now. So the football player that died, he played for the Carolina Panthers when he played in the NFL. I guess he was not playing anymore. But first of all, he was wearing the number 46. And why is that important? Well, we know that Biden is the 46th president, right? And JFK was 46 years old. Okay, so it's a connection to the 46 and both Biden and Kennedy, which all goes back to Trump, because Donald Trump was born in the year 46. Okay, so that's another connection to Trump. So that football player who was wearing the number 46, his name was Rashard Anderson. Anderson! His name was Anderson. And he died on 7/13. And why is that important? See the date? 7/13. 13 times 7 equals 84. Okay, folks, don't laugh. Because what happened was, it's actually 7 times 12, which has nothing to do with this video. Sorry about that. 7 times 12 is 84. That's what I meant to say. Forget about this. I can't believe I just did this. But you know what? There is something to this, because it's got 137, because I told you the 137 is something super important. It's the 33rd prime number. But forget about what I just wrote here, because that's not what it equals. 13 times 7. 13 times 7 equals 91. So basically disregard everything I just showed you right here, with this stupid equation. I told you, folks, listen, I'm human. I make mistakes once in a while. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, back to the football player. Don't worry, it's still connected to Trump. I just messed up that one equation. So he was born in Mississippi. And I told you Elvis was born in Mississippi. Okay, that's a connection to the Elvis Trump thing. So this football player, he was 45 years old, okay? And I'm going to show you the most important thing coming up. But so he dies at the age of 45. So that's connecting to Trump again. And look when he was born. June 14th, 1977. So again, with that 77, the year that Elvis died and the year that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, the most prestigious race in horse racing, and he was born on June 14th, which is the day Donald Trump was born. See, June 14th. And he wore the number 46. That's the year that Trump was born. The year, and that's how old JFK was, 46 years old, and Biden's the 46th president. Anyway, the point is he's born on June 14th, man. Come on. And he died at the age of 45. Trump is the 45th president. Come on, folks. Just think about all these coincidences that I'm showing you. I mean, he's 45 years old, and he's born on Trump's birthday, and he just dies at a young age like that. Come on. Anyway, folks, after that mistake I made, I told you I'm not feeling good. I'm still sick. And I better end this video before I make any more mistakes. But anyway, make sure that you subscribe to my backup channels. And when you type these names in, you have to type in these names into the YouTube search, not to Google, because you won't find it. Go to YouTube search and you'll just type these exact names in and you'll find these channels. And make sure when you go to and subscribe to these backup channels that you make sure you watch these two videos that when I was on suspension that I put on these two channels. I put on my backup channels these two videos, but I didn't put on my main channel. Okay, so make sure 100% that you watch this one and this one. Anyway, folks, end of video.